because I'm No Edit Mike. Sergeant America coming at you. Boom! Right here, Jon On Demand. I am very thankful that my good friend from A Comic Book Look could be here today. They've been very good about getting me started in the YouTube community, and I'm thankful for all the other people that I've met through the community. And today I kind of thought about just chatting with you a little bit on what is it that keeps us reading comics.
Absolutely. It's a great question.
So, number one thing I do have to say is through all the groups now that I'm speaking, the number one reason I think sometimes is this, being able to share with your fellow nerd, talking comics.
Yep.
So, but, you know, I do know a little bit about you, but for everybody else who hasn't seen you too much on my channel, if you talk about, like, how you got in and how you enjoy.
So, I actually started out with comics, you guys. The X-Men 90s cartoon got a lot of us, you know, in that pocket. For me, I was flipping channels as a little kid, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jubilee in the mall getting attacked by Sentinels. This is rad. You know, you meet Storm and Rogue in that episode, and a little bit of Gambit, and you're just mind blown. This is so awesome. Led to the Fleer trading card sets, X-Men hitting that comic shop up. Eventually, when I was out in Japan, I lived out there for 5 years, I started collecting the books. So we're talking Uncanny X-Men, X-Men the main line. Actually, Uncanny was the main line, X-Men was a secondary line. And then X-Force, a little bit of X-Factor here and there. But those first three were my primary things that I rocked with for many years. High school, college, stopped collecting. And then I actually worked at a prominent financial institution. I worked right over the wall from Tom, who's on A Comic Book Look with us. And Tom was talking to me about comics and said, dude, you got to try this out. Come to the shop with me sometime. So I did. Dark Avengers, Norman Osborn, boom, and here we are. So it really got me plugged back in. I love the Dark Avengers. I can gush about them, but that's going to be a whole other episode because Valentine's Day ain't for another few months. So that's how I got into comics, and how I stick with them is exactly what we're doing right now, which is that sense of community. So like Mike said, having those conversations is kind of fun. It's fun to have that commonality with people. It's fun to experience stories together and see how they treat us and what our reactions are. It's fun to see this stuff on TV, on the big screen, online, in the stores. Every single store you go to, I guarantee you're going to see a Batman or a Spider-Man piece of merch, because it's just becoming more and more widely accepted. Awareness is up. Bam. Pop vinyls galore. I mean, it's just insane right now. It's a cool time to be a nerd. You got people our age, you know, approaching us, hey, what do I get my kid for Christmas? You know what I mean? I get that all the time, and it's like, all right, or tell me about this comic. Can I borrow this from you? Yeah, no problem. You know, so it's a lot of fun. Even libraries, Mike's been huge on that initiative. Huge, huge, huge. So I think it's huge. I think it's a cool time to be a nerd, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. And fun thing about the community sense, I just got off a plane a couple days ago. I was hanging out with another YouTuber, Mark Shelton, the Bagging and Boarding Bad Boy. So that was super awesome to just say, hey, we've been friends online for 4 years. We've been bouncing off each other's shows a little bit, and we've been just vibing as people. So we're going to get together and hang out for 4 days. And what did we do? We talked comics. We definitely kept it comics. We proved that bagging and boarding is never boring. We hit up 3 Hastings locations that's being liquidated and spent a ton of money. It was a lot of fun. My suitcase wanted to vomit comics and coffee by the time I was done with Nashville. So it was a lot of fun. But the point of that is we had so much downtime that we were like, we can film a show and then we'll just hang out, or we'll read comics together and respect each other's space. So it's having that commonality. It's working with those rock stars in the community, and there's a ton of them out there that both Mike and I have had the pleasure of working with over the years. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what's to come. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
And oh boy, Mark, would you be mad if you saw my place? I got a stack of comics over there. I got a stack of comics over here that is not bagged and boarded. I got to learn Mark's magic because I struggle with that part of it. My short boxes are tucked in my closet over there. I think maybe if I had them out a little bit more, if I had a couple more boxes that I wasn't trying to jam them into. But now I know you were just talking about your love of X-Men.
Yeah.
But then I know that you just ran to Tennessee to see our friend.
Yeah.
And I know X-Men is not so exciting for you right now.
Yeah. Okay. So we're supposed to talk about what keeps us reading.
Yeah,
comics,
yeah.
right?
But I'm saying.
So let's. I guess I didn't really answer that question to its fullest. So good point. So Mike has an excellent point, you guys. X-Men. In my collector's program, X-Men is one of the biggest things I have in terms of volume. But you'll notice that it really stopped after the past couple of months. I totally fell off. I personally feel that I have an informed opinion just because of the amount of material that I've either viewed or that I own, or read, rather. So as a consumer, I just decided that the X-Men direction that it's going right now probably isn't for me. It's not worth shelling out $4 an issue for kind of middle school-ish stuff. So I don't know. For me, it wasn't there, and it's just not what I'm looking for in the X-Men U. Also, this Death of X event, I'm totally uninformed with that. So April O'Neil of the 605 is failing at her job. But I don't know. I'm just kind of falling off. I'm really focusing right now with Marvel on that D-Vader book, of course, and then I'll probably have some other cool stuff coming up. Truthfully, though, I'm really riding with DC right now, to be honest with you.
So the Rebirth is kind of
yeah.
Fueled the fire again for you to want to read comics.
Yeah,
or...
I've gotten way more. My pull list has doubled because of DC, which is exciting to me. The Batman cabal of books is very exciting. Red Hood and the Outlaws. I'm really curious to see where they take that. Jason Todd, Johnny Argul, raise them up from the long box. But it's a cool thing right now for DC that they're doing, and my only hope and prayer is that the quality maintains.
Yeah.
That didn't happen with all those DC books, like we talked about. Mark and I did about that Harley Quinn. We were both like, "Ugh, this is awful," and I just couldn't do it, so I just stopped reading it.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, that's the thing is, you were the Marvel boy when you started out on a comic book.
I absolutely was.
I do see you wearing the Batman hat. Yep. I know, of course, it's a little bit more common for the material to be out there.
Yep.
But I mean, when you look at our DC villains, even the little bag we have here of all of your former X-Men guys. Yeah. I know that's the kind of thing too that used to thrill you, is the villains book. So is that something that you're looking at with the Red Hood and the Outlaws?
Yep.
I mean, we got
Bizarro's gonna be on there soon. I mean, that's bizarre. I'm excited just to see what they do with that character. Red Hood, I really want to see where they go with it, and that dynamic between him and Batman is banging. It's top notch. It's a lot of fun. The one book I haven't read yet that I'm pissed, I picked it up. I have the blank variant and the normal, is that All-Star Batman, and I haven't had a chance to sink my teeth into it yet. Right. So I don't want any spoilers.
Nope.
But loving Detective Comics, Batwoman, Love You Girl. We'll go have mimosa sometime and talk about boys. It's fun. But I just truthfully think that there's a lot of cool things going on right now in comics, not just on the DC side, but Image. Mark was just on fire about some of those indie titles, which is exciting to see. I just feed off of the energy of other people, and when people recommend something, I'll go check it out. Green Lanterns, plural. Thank you, Wednesday Comics. They're a podcast here in town. They recommended it to me. Phenomenal, and I'm sticking with it. Justice League, I'm rocking with them. Oh my gosh, so I'm really just sinking my teeth into it, hoping that the quality is there. Would love some DC villain books. Love it. Those 3D covers, I'm glad I just spent a ton of money and got as many as I could, because I love those. Love it. But on the Marvel side of things, the other one I forgot to mention, that Civil War II event has been great. And then the Captain Marvel book, I'm loving it because Alpha Flight in space. So, put my favorite characters up there in the great outer space. And then they don't really get used a lot, which is stupid, but I still like them, and I'll get it because I always want to know what's happening with Puck and Sasquatch and etc. So
I was going to say, exciting. Your Alpha Flight collection is growing by leaps and bounds. It has got to be getting close to your X-Men collection.
Yeah, because I have all the volumes.
Yeah.
I have the bulk of the variants from that recent run that they did. That was like 12 issues or whatever. And I'm just rocking with it, so...
I mean, eating up those Canadian superheroes, I guess.
Yeah, I want to go to Fan Expo out in Toronto.
All right.
At some point, that's a goal.
All right, excellent. That would be very exciting to see you hit that and what you could get out of there. I do know that you were able to get a exclusive variant from one of the cons.
Yes.
So, I mean, that took some hunting down. I know that Ken did a lot of work on that one. But we did talk about the big two. Something that did surprise me is I don't hear you talking too much about independents anymore.
Right.
You were reading a lot of crazy, a lot of great, a lot of different ones. I mean, I picked up Happy because of you.
Yeah.
good book. I
Yeah.
can recommend it to my comic book community. I can't recommend it to my family because of the content.
Yeah,
but,
it's a little rough.
I mean, what are you doing independent-wise right now?
Independent is independently rocking this channel, bro. Like, I just, I decided that if you guys have seen the Nerd Room, I have 10 long boxes right now with a little bit of room at the front of each one. I alphabetize things heavily, but truthfully, at the end of the day, I just have to look at what am I passionate about, and for me, I'm not a creator follower, I'm a character follower. So I just decided that a lot of my indies I actually gave to Ken to enjoy. So Ken loves them and added them to his collection. But for me, I'm just at capacity right now, and I want to just collect only what I want for character's sake.
I was wondering, you did your big trip, you mentioned.
Yeah.
You had very limited space to bring stuff back.
Oh, it's so
How did you decide what made the cut?
Oh, that was so hard. So hard. Hastings Entertainment, you guys. Yep. So, I will tell you this. When you have bins and bins and bins, and there's variant covers everywhere, I mean, I pretty much got every single one. But some of them I gave as gifts to some of my coworkers. Mike has a little goodie bag that I totally forgot, so that's at home. But it was incredibly difficult. Now, Mark was a machine and just went through everything, and then I kind of cheated and was hanging out with him because he knows what I like, and so he would, hey, you like this one? I'm like, yeah, that's great, you know. Oh my god, a Garfield variant, Hastings, I'll take it. Godzilla, okay, let's do it. Oops, sorry, bag. It was hard. Right. But for me, I just really looked at, what books am I reading, what covers are amazing. Right. The reality is this store is going to be gone. The last day is Halloween of this year that store is open. And then the people on eBay are already charging $15 to $25 for a variant cover. Right. And you can get them for like $4 at the place. So I got some extra ones even for Rainbow I was going to take there to sell them, and just whatever they give me for them, I don't really care. Yeah. I just wanted to have some of that variety in the store for other people to enjoy in our area too. So,
all right, excellent. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like you said, I think the cartoons are what hook us initially. Yeah. I do remember the X-Men cartoons coming in. Yeah. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I'm a little older than Johnny, so I mean, there's a couple of the older, campier cartoons that kind of hooked me in. And then now when I'm coming down to it, I'm getting a little bit more creator focused. I do a lot of Sorrentino for his arts. And now for writing, I don't know that I could name right off the top of my head. I mean, there's some independents now that I just jump on and I'm running with. Independents are what started my pull list. Yeah. You mentioned you're looking at starting a pull list also, or you have started one?
I do have one written down on my phone.
Okay.
Actually, and I can actually fly through there if you want really quick.
All right.
We were organized, so Mark and I did a whole show about this, and I was like, I have to write this down because if I can click on the right thing.
Yeah. The mini computer that you have over there. Because you even have your comics stored on your phone, your list? No? Oh, you did not do that yet.
I just have the list.
Okay, just have the list.
Yeah. All right. All right, DC Comics, All-Star Batman, Detective Comics, Green Lanterns plural, Justice League, and Red Hood and the Outlaws. Marvel, Great Lakes Avengers coming up.
All right.
Oh, yeah. We don't get much out here, you guys. South Dak, we got to represent. So vote with your dollar, 605. Captain Marvel, Civil War 2, and Thunderbolts. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge Thunderbolty, yeah. And then from Boom, there's an indie. But not really.
Okay.
Power Rangers Pink.
Yeah, all right. Well, no, and that is where you were raised. And once again, that was the show of your age. So I think that's cool. It's kind of like with the Pokemon. I was not of that generation. And,
did 3 hours of that this morning.
All right. Yeah. Police didn't chase you down or anything with that? All right, excellent.
We rode the trolley. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Pretty awesome.
Definitely hope if you ever visit the 605, as John says, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that you do hit Rainbow's Comics Collectibles.
42nd, Minnesota.
And that you get a tour of the whole town. We are evidently very Pokemon good. So, when I think about it, I do love that I'm cheap. And so I definitely appreciate a good deal with our comics. I pull a lot off of our dollar wall, too. And I've been doing that, getting just all these different crazy ones. When we had our con hitting the dollar boxes, I know the entire group of A Comic Book Look was basically enjoying the opening show and everything that was going on. Meanwhile, I'm digging through the boxes, trying to get all the goods, trying to get first grabs. So I know that's definitely what pulls me in a lot of directions. I've been grabbing independent issues a lot right now to talk with people currently. Either Oddfellow Thoughts, Comic Book Roundtable, or, just conversing like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But previously, I mean, I'm stacked full of shelves here, and I need to buy new bookshelves. Some of them are just about ready to burst with trades. I was always late to the party. I was always reading the trades or hardcovers late, so I especially look for deals then. I mean, they're already at a certain deal. You're getting less than per issue. Then you're getting a sale. Then you're getting a deal. Once again, definitely thankful for Rainbow giving me a lot of deals on some hardcovers now.
Yeah.
So it's just that. It's just digging through, talking with you, with others about what's good. John at the shop just recommended a new book for me, so I've been reading that one. It's just about getting deep in books, finding what you like, and knowing when to cut the bad ones out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we definitely try not to be too gloomy dooms and talk, too much about how bad some books are or dropping.
Yeah. That's always going to be there, you guys. I completely agree, though. It's not that we're trying to cover up the bad in the industry, and sometimes there's some shows that are very successful with that. Probably A Comic Book Look might be one of those. But, the reality is there's always going to be a flat tire or two, but it's worth a shot. If you don't like it, why? And that will help you identify like what you like as a reader. So for me, early on, I knew from the start that I just don't know all the creators out there, and I'm good with that. But I just love following characters, and I'm very passionate about that. Yeah.
So as we get ready to leave, I did give John a couple books just for him to look over, read, hopefully hook him on something. I know these guys have gotten me hooked on so many books. So I gave him a trade of Paybacks, gave him a trade of Rat Queens, some Independence. I hope that he gets the sickness, starts collecting. But definitely, I mean, that's the one good thing is you guys, there's so many books that over the time watching your guys' show I have picked up. Like you said, now with our library is very good, very deep with lots of comic book books, even single issues all the way to trades, even now the Hoopla app and the digital format. So I'm definitely thankful for that we can do this. It's a good way to get through books, not have to spend a ton of money, because obviously you need money for all your extra swag and major trips across the world. So,
gosh. Keep it moving, right?
Keep it moving, keep it going.
Keep it comics.
Definitely thankful that you could be here today.
Definitely
Enjoying being able to hit on your show also. Chatting with everybody in the YouTube community. Definitely thankful for everybody. So to wrap it all up, just want you to say your catchphrase, and then I will have to run to the camera with mine. But...
Gotcha. All right, you guys. Well, you saw me tapping that invisible watch there at the beginning of the show. But always, we're going to keep it timely. We're going to keep it summer. We're going to keep it comics for sure, man.
Thank you for the catchphrase.